hold on, this is, okay, there. Alright guys, welcome to a new video on the go-kart again. Last video we took this thing for another ride with the brake on it. We got the air filters back on it. We got the bigger fuel filter that's working out great. We got good fuel flow now. Last video there was actually some rust built up in the tank, so we blew it back up and now it runs a lot better. But this video we're going to be concentrating on the clutch. You guys heard last video the clutch sounds like it's slipping really bad, and we need to get that fixed. I think it will gain a lot more power once the clutch plates are actually working properly. I'm guessing that they're stuck together because when I first got this thing, it was sitting for 20 years and the clutch was locked up, and we just kind of put it in gear and pushed it and it freed up the plates, but I don't think they're all free. I think some of them are stuck together. So we're going to be taking out the clutch today, and then we're also going to be looking at the wheels. There's some bad wheel wobble going on in this thing. We're going to check that out, see what that is. And oh, we got the fan. We got the cooling fan for the back of the seat. This thing will be going on the back of the seat to cool it down. And yeah, so we'll test that out quick and see what happens. All right, draining the oil out. Hopefully it doesn't fill up the whole container. You can see it draining out through there. Got a backup container just in case. There's 3.5 quarts in there, so probably gonna take a while to drain. Then we've got the old classic screws that get stripped on this thing.
Oh man.
So those are gonna be fun to get off. I do have an impact screwdriver I should try out.
You do?
See if that works. That'd be a good test for it. Alright, we've got the impact screwdriver. See if it'll crank off a bolt.
Is it going the right way?
I don't know. It'll say on there which way to do it right there. Right and left. So you want it to go left, right?
Oh, there we go.
Going the right way. Now you pound on it with a hammer.
You pound on it? Is it electric?
What? No, you pound really hard. Oh, cracked it loose. Didn't it? Or no?
Yeah.
I think you broke it. I think it's loose already. Yeah.
Oh, that's going the wrong way.
Oh yeah. It's stripping. That was a little bit more stubborn. Alright, oh, it came? Haha. Seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can get to those. Yeah, no. There's one right here. No. Can't get to it.
Huh. How are we supposed to get to those now? How many do we have left? 2 or 3?
1, 2, 3, 4. Plus the one with the sprocket thing on
So
there.
this thing has to come off.
That
Wasn't too bad. Just kind of. All right, all the bolts are out. That was exciting. It's kind of hard to pound it off too because there's no good angle. Hold on, this is okay there.
Oh, there's my gasket. I don't want to rip it. Oh, I think it's gonna rip.
That's fine if it rips.
No. Oh, yeah, it did.
Here's the clutch. Clutch basket looks good.
Yeah.
I think all these plates are stuck together.
Probably.
Well, at least the cover was able to come off, because I thought maybe this was going to get in the way, or something else was, so that's good. Alright, let's crank the clutch off and see what happens here. Alright, so we got the clutch apart over here. The friction plates don't look that bad. They weren't really stuck together either, so I'm not really sure what was wrong with it. If it was just the adjustment, I'm gonna be really mad here. I didn't even check that.
Yeah. Could be.
Let me see.
You kind of screwed up. Or like messed with it.
I wonder if it was the adjustment. Darn it. Well, it's good to go through it anyway. We'll look at ordering some new friction plates, because it could just be that too.
Well, they were a little bit sticky.
I mean, the plates need to be clean. The plates need to be cleaned pretty good too. They don't look great, I can tell you that. But I don't know, I've seen worse. Usually you can just clean them up and reuse them, but I don't know if I would really want to do that. What do you think?
I don't know.
I just don't know if they're that bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Wonder how much they are.
Yeah, that'll determine if I'm gonna buy them too. If they're like $100, I'm not gonna buy them. But yeah, that's what the clutch looks like. The basket's really nice. No imperfections on there. Everything moves smoothly on there. So yeah, I'll go look up the price of them and we'll see if we'll buy some new ones. Alright, so we took the clutch off and then we put it back on because the clutch plates honestly look pretty good. And we found out that there was zero slack between the clutch pedal and the actual clutch. So what we did was take off this little guy right here and then adjust it. Now there's a little bit of play in between the clutch and the cable. You can see that's how much play we've got now. Before, as soon as you touch that, it would pull the clutch, and I'm guessing that the clutch wouldn't release all the way completely. So I think it's doing that now. We're gonna have to take it for a test drive and see. But we've got the new gasket coming in the mail from eBay, so we have to wait for that to come until we can test drive it again. But in the meantime, we're going to take off the seat and put the fan on there. As you guys know, we got the fan right here. Got this guy from eBay, and it's a 10-inch fan. We're gonna hook it up right behind the seat, and then we're going to hook up a positive, negative to the battery, and then positive, negative to a switch up here. So when we flip the switch, the fan will turn on and then cool down the engine. At least that's what we hope. All right, guys, so here's the fan. There's negative and positive right here. And we hooked it up to a test battery, and the fan actually blows this way. So there's air coming through this way, so we have to mount this on the back of the seat, kind of like this. Just gonna go like that. Yeah, it should do a pretty good job of cooling it down, so it shoots out pretty far. So if you mount that in the middle of the seat, it should hit the whole motor with that wind, but we'll have to see. One concern we do have is that the pipes are going to get so hot that it's going to melt this, which, I mean, if it's on, then it probably won't have that problem, but if it's off and the motor's getting too hot, then we could potentially melt this whole system. All right, now we've got a clean pallet here to work with. We're gonna have to drill holes through this to mount up the fan. And then hook up the battery as well. So we need wires going to the battery. So let's see, if we put the fan, I'm thinking it's gonna be right here. If we put it like right in the middle of the seat, we're gonna mark it and then take the seat out and then probably do it. All right, we got the seat out, so basically what we're gonna be doing, I marked it off right here from when it was on the actual go-kart. We're gonna be mounting the fan to the actual seat, so probably right here. All right, drill a couple holes here. The blade spins smoothly, so we should be good to go. We're going to hook up some new wiring to this, and then we'll hook it up to the battery, see what happens here. Alright guys, we got the wires hooked up here. Not looking pretty right now, but everything's hooked up so we can kind of test it out. Once I know it's working, we can make it look a lot better and hide these wires and everything. We still have to hide the wires for the lights and everything, and waiting on the switches still. Must be coming from China. But we're going to be stripping these off, and then we should be able to touch these two together and the fan should go on. At least that's what I'm hoping. So let's do that. Let's strip those wire ends off and see if it works here. Alright, those are stripped off. Now we should be able to touch those two wires together and the fan should turn on. Cross my fingers here. Hopefully this doesn't work. Oh yeah. So if we go in there, I'll quick kind of show you what that looks like. Fan is definitely turning on, you can hear it. So that's good. And then all we have to do is put a switch where those wires are. Alright guys, the reason the fan wasn't blowing all the way was I had the wires mixed up. The positive was actually going to the negative, and the negative was actually going to the positive, which was spinning the motor in the opposite direction. So it was going towards the seat, and that's why the wind, you could feel it on the outside, but you couldn't feel it like really blowing. So I switched the wires around, and now we're all good. So it blows a lot harder. It's actually really, really good. Let's see here. Yeah. So that's a ton better. So we fixed that. I also put some spacers in between the seat and the fan so that more air can get in there so it can blow more. So there's like little spring spacers right there that I put all the way around. So that seemed to help it a lot. Oh yeah, we're getting some good airflow. I can feel it all the way out to here. It's like really cold air. Yep, it goes all the way up to here. So it's cooling off the head as well as the bottom of the motor. That's good. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. Yeah, I think that'll cool it off pretty well. We'll have to test it out, but yeah. Seems like it goes pretty good. All right, we got the wheel jacked up here. Let's see if we can twist off these nuts right here. I don't know, looks like they're pretty tough. Got one. We don't want it to fall. There, we've got the wood underneath there just in case it falls when we take off the wheel. Alright. We gotta figure out why it's all wobbly in there. I mean, there's no play. So I don't know what's going on. It could be something to do with the shock, but there's no play in there either, which is kind of interesting. Not too sure. This is fine. I don't know. It looks fine to me. Could just be that the shocks are too small for the machine and it's not supporting the weight. Alright, so it looks like these are adjustable, the shocks. If you twist it this way, it goes up, and that should make the spring tighter. So maybe that's all it needs, is just to have the spring tension more so it rides a little bit more even. Let's see what the other side is. Let's just try to push this up a little bit. All right, let's measure the distance here. .02 millimeters. Now let's go over to the other side. Measure what that distance is between the shock and the end of the shock here. It's the same. It's the same right there. So maybe that one just was down a little bit more than the other side. I'm not sure, but it had a pretty bad wheel wobble. I'm guessing that's not the only issue it was having, but this wheel was definitely bending in more than the other one. Alright guys, found the problem. So, if you look flat right here, see how it's angling up a little bit? And then if you rotate it, it angles down a little bit. This shaft right here is bent. So this whole thing is bent right here. You can see how that bends up like that. So it kind of curves like that. And when it rotates, obviously it's going to be wobbly. So it's not a bearing. You can see it's just bent up like that. So it goes like that. That would be why it's wobbly. I was looking at it, I'm like, that looks a little crooked. And then I twist it around, and then it points down. I'm like, yep, definitely crooked. So I think what we need to do is somehow find this piece or just leave it like that, because I don't know what this is from. I don't know if you could even find that piece anymore, because it connects into here, and it looks like it might be a little difficult to find. I'm not too sure. So if anyone knows in the comments what this piece is from, that would be awesome. That the wheels are tilted pretty far out, but I mean, they're pretty even now. At least the shocks are even. We measured those, so they should have the same tension on both sides. Should make it run a little bit more even. And then, as we know, that part is bent in there, so can't really do too much about that unless we look for a part and find a part that matches up. But this side's fine. This isn't too wobbly, and then the front wheels are fine. They're not wobbly. So I think it's just that back wheel that we're having problems with. So I think we fixed everything we needed to fix today. We're gonna have to test it out later once we get the clutch gasket back, and then we can actually test it out. If the clutch doesn't work still, we're going to get new friction plates, but I'm thinking it was just the no slack situation in the clutch cable, because there wasn't really any slack in the clutch cable at all. So I think it was kind of pulling the clutch in a little bit, and I wasn't fully releasing. And when you're going fast and switching gears, you want it to release fully so you can actually get going. And we saw last video that when we pushed the clutch in, shifted, it felt like we weren't going anywhere, and I think it wasn't the clutch releasing all the way. All right, so we picked up this little four-wheeler. I bought it for 200 bucks. Runs and drives, but not the greatest. Right now the steering stem we had to fix. They were using this little plastic piece right here that kind of went like this on it. And as you can see, it just broke right in half. And it's just junk, so the steering was all over the place. Everything is just kind of loose on it. It feels like battery needed to be charged, but it does start up. It does run pretty good. It's got a 110cc motor in it, which is pretty big for this little guy. It's really, really small. I mean, you can see compared to the cart right there, it's a tiny machine. Like my foot is like a third of the size of it. So yeah, it's something. It's called the Panther 110. But it's got brand new tires on it, new chain. It's got a disc brake in the back. We're gonna see if this thing works now. We're using two handlebar holders for the steering stem area. Let's see if it works out here. Oh yeah, that should work. I'm gonna try to get that in there and then come back and see what happens. We've got to fix the carburetor too and the valves. Stay tuned. All right, we got the steering back on. Show them what we did quick.
We'll just put this on.
It's we took these two guys and then put a piece of rubber in between and then bolted it back on, and shouldn't be loose anymore, I wouldn't think. These guys go on here like that. Oh, almost down the gas tank. All right, steering is fixed on it. It's a little stiff, but it'll do the trick, I think. All right, so let's see if she fires up here. Still gotta put everything back together, but we will see. Oh yeah, she'll go. Thing flies. Alright, I'm probably gonna check the valves here quick. Alright, so we finally got this thing going. It starts right up now. Clean up the carburetor, adjusted the valves, and everything works when I start it up. Start her up. All the lights work on it. Lights are working, hit the brake, backlight works. And we put the speed control all the way out. So she's gonna rip now. And then I fixed up the case right here, little JB well in there. I was pouring out oil, so everything's good to go. Want to take it down the road? Let me see when you sit on it how loose the chain gets. It's pretty loose, but you're fine. Thing's so fast for a little four-wheeler. It's pretty crazy how fast that thing goes. 110 cc. How is it? Yeah. I think it's really fast for what it is. For what that is,
Yeah.
really fast. Steering's not even that bad anymore.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
It was so loose when we got it. Wow. Not too shab. What do you think?
Yeah, there's like an extra like inch.
Oh yeah,
throttle.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just like keeps going.
The screws all the way up. The switches should be here in like 4 days. I just checked the tracking. So we've got 2 switches coming. We've got again, one for the ignition, one for the lights, and then one for the fan. And I had to weld a bar right down here for all 3 switches, and then clean this up and reroute the wiring. And then after that, I think we're pretty much good to go. We'll have the seat on there, and we'll have the light working, we'll have the fan working, and then we can start painting it and making it look a lot better. So that's going to be next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It's always fun to work on the shifter cart, and I can't wait for this thing to just fly because it's got a lot more power to go. Then we're going to be doing some races, we're going to be doing some burnouts, we're going to be doing the launches with it, we're going to be doing tons of stuff. Check out lap2.com for dirt bike, motorcycle, ATV parts, and I look forward to the next part of the build on the shifter cart because it's coming soon. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Until next time, we are out.